Hello everyone, I'm Mr. Macabre and welcome back to my movie library. This is going to be just kind of a really off the cuff, kind of just, I'm sorry if like my mind is going to be scattered. I'm going to be all over the place about this video. Um, yeah, just, things have been kind of rough here lately. Mostly to do with, like trying to figure out to try to keep my channel interesting, to, get people to want to watch. Um, Here's the thing, like back when I did the Terror and Tats channel, like what really, got people to interested in that was when I was doing the 4K reviews, and and that was the thing when I first started doing those, there weren't really that many people doing them. I'm not saying I was the first, but I was definitely, I was definitely able to get in there early in the game and get going on that. And just now the problem is now you got everybody and their grandmothers are doing, 4K reviews. So I've been kind of phased out of that. I still pick them up, I still buy them, but just also too, over time with just, prices going up and not being able to afford a lot of them, and just, really having to be really picky and choosy over which ones I get and which ones I'm able to talk about. Yeah, it just got really, really difficult. And, you know, and that's just kind of like, I think you guys have noticed that, over time, just, my stuff has been more like, I'm trying to buy what I can afford. It's not that I don't want movies on 4K or anything like that, but it's just, you got to kind of, live within your means. And even sometimes, these two pickups I just got, this one here, I got the Final Destination 6 film collection. This is Blu-ray. It's not 4K. And, and this kind of serves as like, because see, Final Destination Bloodlines did get a 4K release. And in a way, this kind of serves as my 4K release of that. You say, well, what do you mean? You didn't get the 4K of it? No, that's true. I didn't. I got this 6-film Blu-ray set because here's the thing. Yes, Final Destination Bloodlines did get a 4K release, but here's the problem. No other movie in the Final Destination series has gotten a 4K release. So my thinking is, it probably means that now that that one's got a 4K release, and especially if that one sells well, then that most likely means here within the next year, 2 years at most, we're going to see probably Warner Brothers do like a box set. I'm thinking do a collection of all the Final Destination movies on 4K. This year we're supposed to be getting the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, so I'd be willing to bet you probably within the next year, yeah, like around, at least around Halloween time by next year, we're probably going to get the Final Destination 4K box set. So I have a feeling like I would end up getting like 2 copies of Final Destination Bloodlines on 4K. So I figure I would just go ahead and go with this Blu-ray set for right now. This will serve. This is good enough. Final Destination isn't my favorite horror franchise. It's good enough. I do like some of the movies, some better than others, obviously. I haven't had a chance to watch Bloodlines yet. I just got this in, so I'm very anxious to sit down and check this bad boy out. And I gotta make sure I got the Kleenex handy though, because I've heard about the Tony Todd scene in Bloodlines. So Tony Todd's an actor I very much admired and just was very endeared of him over the years. So yeah, got to be ready for that. But so yeah, in a way, this kind of serves as like my 4K review of that. It's like I'm not going to buy the 4K for Bloodlines because chances are, if I just wait a little bit, we're going to end up getting news. There'll be a box set that's going to include all of them. Now, I did get this on 4K, and I think you'll understand the reason I didn't review this, 4K is because pretty much everybody else. Like, that's the thing, though, too. It's like now it's this whole game of who's going to get it in first. And you got, these YouTubers paying top dollar, to really try to get this stuff in early so that they can do the review and get it out faster. I can't afford that. And even if I could afford it, that's the problem. I do have a little bit of being a cheapskate in me. I will admit that. because I'm sitting here thinking of that extra money that I'm paying to get this one movie in, and I'm sitting here thinking of, that extra money I could have gotten another movie, or I could have gotten two other movies for it, and stuff like that. and that's the problem too. But anyway, I'm sorry, but the movie that I'm talking about is The Stuff. Larry Cohen's great '80s classic. Definitely social comment. Great horror, some good humor in it. Great social commentary on consumerism, things like this. And and that's the thing. It's like, sure, I could have tried to order it directly from Arrow, pay a whole lot more money to try to get it in get it in early so I can try to get a review out before anybody else does, so mine would get the most views and stuff like that. But it's just like with, the money that I was paying for this. Now, see, that's the thing. The extra money I paid for this, like, I just ended up I just ordered, as a matter of fact, I just found out it's being shipped. So next week, I'm hoping that, my order from the Kino Lorber sale will come in. And that's something I'm very much looking forward to doing a video on. I ordered 11 titles off of the Kino Lorber set that just came out, or sale that just came out. I ordered 11 titles, and 3 of those are 4Ks. And, I can't wait to talk about that. But see, that's the thing. That's a lot of it too. That's where a lot of my headspace is going into. It's changed in the sense that I just can't really see myself paying that much money just to get a movie, just so I could try to talk about it before anybody else does. And that's the problem, though. It's at the point now, it's impossible. And especially like a lot of these media channels that, they're in good with, studios or boutique companies. They get stuff in early to review and everything else. So it's just, I don't mind getting in, I don't mind getting the stuff and still talking about it. It's a very fun movie. To be truthfully honest with you, this is a movie I wasn't originally intending to get on 4K. I was just kind of like, I have the Arrow Blu-ray and stuff. I think I can be fine with that. What sold me on this was the Disc 2 Blu-ray with the pre-release version that's 30 minutes longer. Now that's what piqued my interest. It's like, wait a minute, okay, so, because the original cut. Yeah, okay. The running time for the theatrical cut of The Stuff is 87 minutes. The, re-release cut is 119. So that's what, 32 minutes longer? So, yeah. So, I mean, that's the thing that, got me interested in this. But at the same time, it's all like, it's like, yeah, I mean, it's a really nice release to have. But, at the same time, it's kind of like, well, it's like, yeah, had to shell out another, $34. It was like $31.99 plus tax, But yeah, I originally wasn't even intending to get this on 4K, or I was going to at least wait a while till maybe, I found it at my local record store, or, it dropped in price. There was a sale or something like that. But yeah, I went ahead and got this, and I thought, well, possibly I could do a video talking about it, but that's the problem. Like, there's already like 20 other videos made before I could even get it in my hands, and they've already talked about it too. I am happy to have it, just for the bonus features and for that extended cut, Let's see here. Brand new audio commentary with writers and critics David Flint and Adrian Smith. Okay, archival, la 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 la. Newly edited featurette. So I mean, there's some new bonus stuff on here and everything else, and I mean, of course, it's Arrow, so yeah, the 4K looks pretty good and everything. Got some really good, yeah, the visual effects, like some of it is a little ooh, but the practical effects in this movie are amazing. Especially like the sorry about the glare there. The Garrett Morris, Chocolate Chip Charlie scene, just, yeah, this movie is a lot of fun. Michael Moriarty is a lot of fun in this movie too. And, my name's Mo, because whenever people give me money, I always want Mo, So yeah, I like this movie. It is a lot of fun. And I am ultimately glad to have the stuff on 4K. It just wasn't. I just wasn't originally planning on getting it. But yeah, I mean that's just kind of the thing that's like been hard about doing the 4K reviews, and that's why like and that's another reason too. I've been doing very many videos. I'm trying to think of, I'm trying to think of something a little bit more fresh, something a little bit more interesting. I mean, I still want to, talk about, show you some of the movies in my library and stuff like that. Talk about some of the movies themselves. Maybe, do some, I don't know about movie reviews, but just kind of like, just do videos where I just talk about movies, whether I love them or hate them, things like that. I mean, yeah, I still want to show you off, stuff I have in my movie library and stuff. But I think also too, it's like, I'd be willing to go so far as to say that I probably shot myself in the foot by doing this, because instead of just constantly being out hunting and constantly being out trying to get my hands on everything I can get my hands on, I've gotten more selective. I've gotten to where I'm more like, okay, I have 2 orders coming in from Diabolic next week. Like I said, I got an order coming in from Kino Lorber. It's not like I'm not buying stuff, Like I said, one of the orders I got from Diabolic has 2 releases in it. The other one is 1 release, and that one was one originally I was going to try to get a video out to talk about. You'll know when the video comes out. It was one I was going to try to do a video, try to get it out early if I could. But, there's already like about a dozen videos on the subject already done. So yeah, so it's kind of gotten to where I'm kind of phased out of the, I've been kind of pushed out. Like, even though I was one of the earlier ones to get in doing the 4K reviews, I kind of got pushed out of that. I've been kind of phased out by the other big name media channels and stuff like that. So in a way though, it is kind of freeing, because I like the idea of, okay, well, I don't have to be in such a hurry. I can, it's like, yeah, I'm not going to get as many views and I'm not going to grow subscribers pretty quick or anything like that. So it's going to definitely slow down. But at the same time, I like that, it does afford me the chance to go at my own pace, and I can talk about like, movies that I love, movies I hate, try to get back to doing the, the original versus remake, show you some stuff, and just, kind of work on that. But at the same time though too, it's like, I really am on the lookout to try to come up, I mean, there's no original ideas, but to maybe try to come up with something, a little bit more fun, a little bit more fresh and interesting. That's not to say I won't, like, hey, let's take a look at this, I got this. Yeah, of course I got it nice and, cased up, so it's nice and protected, but let's get that out of there. So yeah, it's like, oh yeah, sure. I mean, I still like that, got the, I chose the other artwork, because you got the, it's the same artwork as on the slipcover, but, chose this other kind of, I wouldn't say it's, no, I don't think it's original artwork, but yeah, and the only thing that came in this was the little booklet here. Hang on. And of course you got your discs here, here's the 4K with the theatrical cut and all the bonus features and stuff, and then there's this too with the pre-release cut on there, I mean, I'm not saying I'm not interested in doing that anymore. It's just, the problem is just there are just so many people in the game now that, if I'm hoping to grow subscribers or anything like that, I got to try to, find a new angle, man. I need a new side hustle, but, I still love it though, but that's, just saying, that's probably a lot of what my content is going to wind up being now, is mostly just kind of like haul video type stuff, like just show you stuff as I get it in. Oh, come on. And of course, it's got to happen when I'm trying to get this done, right? I don't know. This kind of stuff here, maybe I'll think about doing like comedy videos, like just trying to get a damn 4K back into a slipcase. or slipcover, you know. There we go. I was like, yeah, maybe start doing physical comedy. Start doing that as like my shtick, you know. But yeah, I mean, originally that's what this video was originally going to be. Was just going to be like, hey, these are the 2 latest pickups I got: the Final Destination 6 film collection on Blu-ray, and you know, and the stuff on 4K and all that kind of stuff. Because I was just like, now's the problem, you know. I was just sitting there like, I could talk about it, you know, I could make a video, you know, I'm free to make a video talking about it, but at the same time, that's the problem, you know. It's all like, there are already 50 videos ahead of me already talking about this subject. So yeah, that's what I've been thinking about. It's like, you know, maybe start doing videos talking about the movies themselves, talking about like, you know, I'm thinking about maybe doing some like top 10 lists or something like that. I do, you know, we've done videos in podcasts similar, me and Glenn and Rob and Jason and James from Body Bags. We've done videos and podcasts in the past where we talked about stuff like that, you know, like top 5 favorite, you know, like Arrow releases or something to that effect. You know, I was thinking about that. It's like, you know, that'd be kind of fun to do some videos talking about like, you know, top, you know, like my top 5 favorite Scream Queens or something like that, or you know, top 5 favorite, I don't know, John Carpenter movies or Sam Raimi movies, something like that, you know. So I mean, it kind of frees me up to do that stuff, but you know, I'm not saying I won't, you know, show off a nice 4K when I get one, but I'm just saying, yeah, just it's really hard. I've been, like I said, even though I kind of got into it early, yeah, I kind of got phased out by a lot of the other big media channels, especially, you know, guys like Mid-Level Media, Serial at Midnight, Planet CHH, you know, like these guys. I've been, you know, I kind of gotten beat to the punch by these guys because, you know, they get stuff, you know, they get stuff in to review, they get stuff in early, you know, they're able to afford to spend that top dollar that I don't have. You know, it's like I get, you know, like I get a lot of my stuff, I get it on release day through Amazon. That's how I get a lot of mine. Some stuff I don't get on release day. Some days, you know, if you guys have followed me long enough, you've seen, you know, a lot of times I'm like, oh, hey, guess what? I picked this, like this one here. Hey, you know, I picked up Monty Python complete series on Blu-ray because they dropped down to 40 some odd dollars on Amazon. So, you know, and that's kind of the thing too, is, you know, like I'm like a lot of people, you know, it's like, I make good money, but I don't make that good of money. And like I said, you know, and two, it is part of me being a cheapskate, you know, to an extent. Because even though, yeah, I want to get movies on 4K and stuff like that, it's just like, you know, if I could wait just that little bit longer and, you know, just wait that little bit longer and I know I'm going to get a good price on it and stuff like that, it's like, why not just do that? Or if I already know, like, hey, if I just wait, I know I'm going to be able to get this, you know, at my local record store. Somebody's going to sell off a copy. I'll be able to get it for like 30, 40, 50% off and stuff. Like, why not just wait, you know? And so, yeah, you know, it was like, and I'm getting some great deals. I'm getting a lot of really good stuff I want. And, you know, it was like when I just did that video here a little while ago, when I got those three Second Sight Cronenberg 4Ks and stuff like that. You know, I got those 3 for, you know, $100. And I think that's a lot of it too, is, you know, like, that's another thing too, is, you know, I want to try to see if I can make movies that kind of help the more, you know, in terms of like buying 4Ks and Blu-rays and stuff, the more kind of like budget conscious kind of people that don't have the kind of, you know, like Films at Home or Serial at Midnight kind of money, you know. So, you know, so yeah, you know, like, try to help people find deals and find bargains and stuff like that and kind of share the joy, you know, and that to me is like, that's what really gets my juices flowing. That's what gets my motor running, is when you're getting great stuff for lower prices. Quality stuff, even if it is slightly used or anything like that, if it's in great enough condition and you're getting something that is like, man, you know, like these people are, you know, like I've done videos talking about before, these people that are paying, you know, 40, 50, even $60 for like a Vinegar Syndrome title or something like that. And, you know, they turn around and they think that they're going to get it for all this money. And I wind up getting it for like $20, $29.99, something like that, you know? So yeah, you know, I think that that's kind of the fun of it, you know, it's like, and I think that would kind of be a good thing in a way. Kind of like I said. I'm sorry. I know it probably seemed like I'm all over the place with this, but I think that would be kind of like to give people hope, to say like, because I think a lot of people, when it comes to movie buying right now, I think a lot of people feel it's very doom and gloom, that there's not a chance that you can get you could get a really great edition of a movie or a TV show for a great price. Whereas like, no, in fact you can, and that's the fun of it. That's the joy. If you have places that you can look, and that is the doom and gloom part of it, is so many brick and mortar stores have shut down now. So many places have gone to where they don't sell movies anymore or music or any of that kind of stuff. But yeah, if you are able to luck out and find places where you could do that, even if it's like an hour's drive, say, hey, I know if I save up this amount of money and there is a media store, whether it's a bookstore, record store, whatever, a place I know where they sell this stuff, I know I can go down there and I can just splurge and, I can come home with a stack of movies this high and stuff like that. Because, that's what we want. We want to get the stuff that we want at a great low price, Now, I'm not saying go out and buy just anything, but I mean, like buy the movies that you want, the movies you're going to watch. And that's like another thing too, is, I'm going to probably, I've already talked about it before, and, yeah, I'm probably over time going to sound more like a broken record talking about this is, yeah, it's like, I made mistakes. A lot of us movie collectors have made mistakes where we've bought movies, we bought it because it was dirt cheap, it was like a dollar DVD or something like that. We bought it because we thought it was going to be good. And then we watched it and it was just absolute trash and stuff like that, so, but yeah, kind of talking about like, curating your movie library, stuff like that. But yeah, so yeah, just like I said, that's kind of the problem just right now. And, as much as I love 4Ks, I'm not going to stop buying them, but that is pretty much my speed as of this point is, yes, I'm going to get some stuff day one. There are certain things I've already got lined up, but a lot of stuff I'm kind of like, if I can, if this is something I really don't need at this moment, it's like Kino Lorber 4Ks are definitely at the top of the list because I know now, because like I said, I just bought 3 of them in a sale. That's the thing, it's like I'm already sitting here looking at like some of the movies that Kino Lorber have coming up on 4K, movies I know, like, okay, I know people will be like, are you kidding? I want to get Billy Madison on 4K because Billy Madison is a funny movie. It's easily my favorite Adam Sandler movie. Watched it in theater, watched it plenty of times. It's a movie, I know if I buy the 4K, I'm going to buy it and watch it plenty, but I already know. So like, here's the thing. I don't need to buy it day one. I know if I just hold off, that's going to be, in a sale down the road and I'll be able to get it under $20. And the same thing goes, like they're getting ready to put Ilsa, She-Wolf of the SS out on 4K. Again, something I know if I just wait and buy my time, I'll be able to get that on 4K and be able to have it at a good price, But anyway, yeah, I think it's about time I wrap this up because that's really all I'm doing is just rambling. But anyway, just kind of that's where I'm at, and yeah, I admit, just it's not that I want to do them. It's just kind of like I kind of really have to get myself amped up to want to do 4K reviews anymore, and it's just so hard because now so many people are doing it, and so many people are able to get to it before I can. So that's what I'm saying. So I think that's. I'm not saying I won't talk about a 4K if I get one or anything, but yeah, that's probably where I see myself going with this. It's just more like about time to start talking about the movies themselves and just kind of show what I got in my library, and if I get a haul, show that. But so anyway, so I just hope I don't know. I hope everybody will stick around. I hope everybody will watch, and I guess we'll see what the future holds. Hopefully, this will be, maybe I'll come up with a new gimmick, or find a gimmick where I can again jump on that for a little while or something. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But anyway, so that's it. So anyway, so if any of you watched all of this rambling, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that, you've stuck around this long and you'll continue to stick around. And hopefully, I will be making more videos, but I just hope you guys will be wanting to watch them. So that's it, everybody. Take care. Have a good night. See y'all later.